Go ahead and argue about the title all you want in the comments down below, but I've got news for you. Cocoon is not just the title of this video game, it's also the perfect word that embodies this entire project. Jeppe Carlsen is an amazing designer responsible for Limbo and Inside, and now Cocoon. The guy's mind is just brimming with creativity. I'd call him a modern day video game genius. This project has been incubating for over 6 years, and now it's ready to butterfly its way into your hands. Cocoon is wrapped tightly in a layer of perfect everything. Let me show you exactly what I mean. You've probably gathered the gist of Cocoon from trailers and previews, but basically you're inside these levels. But you can also be outside the levels, and then they take the shape of an orb. You literally carry the level around with you to solve different puzzles as a small bug. Now don't worry, there's no spoilers in this video because I want you to experience this game for yourself. It's truly one of the most unique video games I've ever played, and definitely the most exciting puzzle title I've experienced in eons. This isn't level 1 puzzles like pull the lever and open the door, nor is it level 2 puzzles like, hey, there's a portal, throw something through it. I would categorize Cocoon as a level 3 puzzler, and frankly, I don't even know what that means. And that's because what defines Cocoon is a completely immersive experience that never lets go. Cocoon just finds a way to give you all the knowledge you need without ever telling you anything. It's a surreal experience to solve the puzzles here because you're never given any guidance. There's no tutorial, not a single line of dialogue, and only one button that you can interact with. Yet, I found myself feeling so smart as I solved these puzzles. And while they're both highbrow and difficult at times, it's also super approachable. Cocoon is a strange yin and yang, a convergence of many different ideas where opposites somehow exist at the same time. Take the aesthetic first off. You're a small bug, but this is no ordinary folksy Bug's Life type tale. This is a super futuristic world that is all glass, sheen, and iridescence. It's a unique mixture because typically you'd be a bug and there'd be a lot of bug type things, and yet this is the most futuristic bug game I've ever played. No dialogue whatsoever and no written word is a very interesting choice, and yet I never found myself confused. I don't even know how I solved many of the puzzles in Cocoon. I could not write a guide for them. I feel like I just assimilated the information from the world around me. It's hard to describe much about this game because it's operating under rules that we've never seen before. Jumping in and out of levels, carrying the levels around, using the levels to achieve other levels, but then going back into the levels and multiple levels inside of a level. It's just a whole new way of thinking. So I can't tell you that, oh, it has a lot of logic puzzles or a lot of movement puzzles. It's got a lot of Cocoon puzzles, and there's never been anything quite like it. The experience of playing Cocoon involves moving around with the stick as this buggy guy and then pressing the A button. That's literally all you do. And yet it's as immersive as a game I've played in 2023, and that's saying a lot. Cocoon's A button allows you to interact with switches. It allows you to pick up orbs, switch orbs. It allows you to fight bosses because yes, this is a puzzle game with boss battles and they don't feel out of place. Somehow, without a jump button, without a sprint button, without an attack button, Cocoon manages to have boss battles and puzzles coexist side by side and both be memorable, both be totally workable, and both be excellent. I've never seen a game that attempts to do so many distinct things all at once and have them all work out. It's literally like Jeppe just has unlocked Pandora's box of perfect game design. He reaches his hand in and he pulls something crazy out. At the time, Limbo was an exhilarating adventure, unlike something we'd seen in a long time. And then Inside just took things to a very different place. I would argue that Cocoon is Carlson's best game yet. It feels like the tightest and the least based on trial and error. I'm telling you, there is just a very weird mental exercise that occurs within this game where you play, you see the puzzle before you, you don't really know how to accomplish it, but then you do. There was not a moment in this game where I felt absolutely trapped or absolutely stuck. And it's because the world and the puzzles themselves are designed so expertly. Oftentimes you'll be locked into a certain area, letting you know you have limited resources to accomplish said solution. I really love this game design because it helps you know, okay, I don't need to backtrack across the world. Okay, I'm not crazy thinking that I need something else to solve this. The parameters are set, and then it's up to you to put the pedal to the metal. There's another amazing design decision here involving the audio, where as you move your character closer towards solving the puzzle, or at least in the right direction of making progress, the audio picks up, the music builds. It's so insanely satisfying auditorially and self-confidence-wise to have this track be building and getting more majestic as you move through the puzzles. You're learning that, hey, if the audio is there, I'm on the right track, and it feels like you have a friend within the game, even though it's a very isolated experience. Your character does not talk, and nobody talks to you, yet this world feels very, very lived in. I don't know the exact story of Cocoon, and I don't think you're supposed to know the exact story, but there's definitely plot points, there's definitely progression, and there's definitely an end. I will say that's my one small mini gripe with the game. I just wanted more. I think it took me about 4 hours to beat Cocoon, and while the game is priced at $25, this is not a warning sign in terms of value. My 4 hours with Cocoon are well worth that price point, and I would happily pay it again. But because the game was so grand, I did want more. Yet, I kind of understand Carlson's decision here because the game never feels repetitive. Cocoon manages to innovate, even if it's slightly, in every puzzle it sets before you. Yes, there are certain things that you'll know how to do and then use again, but it's always in a slightly different scenario, with a slightly different solution. I think the fact they were able to achieve such a laundry list of puzzles from such a small set of mechanics is absurdly impressive. And this idea of jumping into worlds and out of worlds is something that I wish we'll see again, but I don't know if we will. It seems like a technical marvel because there's no loads once you boot the game. You'll jump into worlds and out of worlds, carry other worlds into other worlds, and the game never hitches for a second. It ran beautifully for me on PC, and I'm praying that it works great on Switch as well. I'm sure it'll run just fine on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Cocoon, though, is a beautiful game, and with the audio presentation assisting you in the puzzle solution in an ever so subtle way, the game nudges you in the right direction without ever feeling obvious. It also never feels obtuse. It's strange how approachable Cocoon is, in that you don't have to be a puzzle-solving genius to pick up and succeed at this game. Yet at the same time, I wouldn't describe Cocoon as easy. It just is. It's perfect in that way that you pick it up, know how to play it, and it never tells you a single thing. You know how to solve the puzzles after examining the world and experiencing the world because it's that darn good at immersing you and explaining things by you figuring them out. This is a game that doesn't show nor tell, but lets you play. It's a third option that I haven't seen explored maybe ever. I really feel like Cocoon is doing something and achieving something unlike anything I've seen before. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's because of the insanely tight package in terms of every element you could evaluate a video game on. Graphics, audio, gameplay, puzzle solving, difficulty, character. Everything about this is wonderful. It's fantastic across the board. And to achieve so much with, dare I say, so little, a single button, no words, this is why the game took 6 years. And this is why Jeppe Carlson is a masterful game designer, one of the best we've ever had. I'm already so eager to see what his next project is, because this to me feels like a step above his earlier work indeed. Cocoon is a downright masterpiece. Exploring and walking around these worlds is just fun, and interacting with only one button somehow feels perfect. It's beautiful to look at and surprising in so many ways, whether it's a new type of puzzle, a quirky idea, or interacting with worlds in ways that I cannot spoil for you. But the idea of bringing worlds inside worlds and worlds outside of worlds, levels into levels, levels out of levels, is such a genius concept and must have been such a brain burner to achieve. I can't imagine what the development process is, and I can't imagine even more because this development process led to a perfect result. I would rarely ever give a 10 out of 10, even to my utmost favorite titles. But I cannot find a flaw with Cocoon, and I freaking loved every second I played of it. Cocoon is a 10 out of 10, and you have to go get it. Stop whatever you're playing. I know it's been a busy season for games, but whatever you're playing, I'm telling you, stop and get Cocoon. This is a one-of-a-kind experience, unlike anything else in the puzzle genre, and quite possibly unlike anything else you've ever played across the board. Nobody does it quite like Yeppy, and he's proved this yet again with his piece de resistance, his true masterwork. After 6 years of cocooning up and working on this title, Carlson emerges with the most perfect butterfly one could imagine. Cocoon is everything I hoped it'd be, and then some, and is one of the very best video games of the year, and one of my personal favorites of all time.